A group of asylum seekers have been staging a pavement protest after refusing to sleep 4 people in a hotel room in central London, prompting anger from the neighbours.
The group has rejected concessions made by the Home Office and has now been handed a 24-hour ultimatum to accept their hotel accommodation or be made homeless. Joining us now to discuss this is former UKIP leader Henry Bolton. Henry, thanks so much for joining us. What do you make of this? It seems quite extraordinary on the one hand that people who are seeking refuge are complaining about their hotel accommodation, but I guess on the other side of the argument is that maybe trying to squeeze 4 people into a London hotel room is a bit excessive. Where do you stand on this?
Well, I stand pretty much where you've just described. I mean, the first thing is that, you know, these are all young men. There are no families there, no women, no children. They're young men. And that just, for me, reinforces the fact that these people came here as part of a choice. And they are economic migrants. Wherever they've come from is irrelevant in that sense. They've come to the UK because they thought they were going to have, you know, the land of milk and honey to an extent. So I've got, to a degree, I've not got a great deal of sympathy with them. But on the other hand, this is also illustrative of the failure of government to have a reasonable plan. First of all, they're in Ilford for 2 years. Well, why haven't they been processed in that 2 years? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the government, we know the government axed 21,000 police officers. Yes, they recruited another 20,000, but they did a similar thing starting in 2010 with the agencies and the personnel who are responsible for processing asylum claims. What they've not done is replace those numbers. What they've also done is outsource some of it. They've lowered the standards of training for those people. And so, of course, we're going to have a problem processing increasing numbers. Problem number 1. Problem number 2, I think we've all been thinking that this whole scheme of putting people in hotels is simply unsustainable. We farm people out all across the country. It's very difficult to keep tabs on them. It's very difficult to provide them with any sort of medical or welfare support in a coherent, coordinated manner. This is not the way to do it.
Yeah.
I've dealt with refugees.
Lots of people are saying, Henry, lots of people are saying, gosh, talk about ungrateful. Here we are as a country letting people come in, putting them up in hotels, paying for bed and breakfast for them, when other people in our country are having difficulty paying the mortgage. But I think you hit on a point there. People are coming to this country thinking it is the land of milk and honey. Is it not time we took those pictures that the country is full up, the hotels are full up, and need to be putting that around the world, as in, there's no point coming to the UK. We can't put you up in your individual rooms. There will be 4 or 6 to a room.
Esther, I agree with you, but at the same time, we've got 2 other problems going on concurrently. We've got a whole bunch of people who are putting out the contrary message. We've got people in the UK, campaigners, organisations, charities, and not just in the UK, also in countries like Italy and so on, who are saying to migrants, you are welcome, you will be supported, and even if the government doesn't support you, we will. And to illustrate that a little bit, in a slightly bigger picture, this problem is only going to get worse. Italy, so far this year, has had, just Italy, 47,000 people land on its shores. Last year, it was 22,000 by this time. It's over double. Now, those people are being attracted not just by our rather laissez-faire approach to this, and our failure to put the British people and British economy and British interests first, but also the wider continent of Europe is doing the same thing.